My beloved child, stop everything right now. Don't scroll. Don't let your mind race ahead. Pause the noise. Breathe slower and listen closely, because I am speaking to you with urgency and love. This is not random. This is not a coincidence. This is a holy interruption, a divine warning wrapped in mercy, sent to protect what I'm building in your life. I have watched you try to keep the peace. I have watched you excuse what your spirit has been screaming about. I have watched you carry the weight of confusion, telling yourself, maybe I'm overthinking, maybe it's nothing. But I am telling you, gently and clearly, it is not nothing. The reason your chest tightens around certain conversations, the reason you feel drained after certain interactions, the reason you keep questioning yourself after you are so sure, it's because your spirit has been picking up on what your eyes keep trying to ignore. And I'm not saying this to make you fearful. I'm not saying this to make you suspicious of everyone. I'm saying this because you are in a sensitive season, and the enemy always targets sensitive seasons. When a door of breakthrough is opening, when healing is finally taking root, when you are stepping into purpose, the darkness looks for the closest access point. Not always a stranger, not always an obvious threat. Sometimes the closest access point is the person closest to you. Hear me. I'm not calling you to hate them. I'm not calling you to expose them publicly. I'm not calling you to attack. I'm calling you to discern. I'm calling you to set boundaries. I'm calling you to stop feeding what has been quietly feeding off of you. Because there is someone near you, close enough to hear your dreams, close enough to know your weaknesses, close enough to touch your routine, and they have been smiling while subtly shrinking you. They have been present while quietly competing. They have been supportive in public while planting doubt in private. They have been saying, I'm happy for you, while their spirit resents the light on your life. You felt it, didn't you? You felt it when you shared good news and the response was delayed, forced, heavy. You felt it when you mentioned a new opportunity and the conversation suddenly turned into warnings, fear, and be careful. You felt it when you tried to celebrate a win and somehow you ended up defending it, explaining it, minimizing it, apologizing for it. You felt it when you started growing and suddenly you were changing. Suddenly you were different. Suddenly you were too much. My child, growth will always offend what benefits from your smallness. Some people don't hate you. They hate what happens when you finally believe you're capable. They hate what happens when you stop begging for love and start requiring respect. They hate what happens when you stop accepting crumbs and start expecting covenant. They hate what happens when you stop shrinking your voice to keep everyone comfortable. And I need you to understand something right now. Not everyone close to you is called to go with you. Not everyone in your circle is assigned to your destiny. Some people were meant to be a chapter, not the whole story. Some people were meant to teach you, not to lead you. Some people were meant to reveal you, not to remain with you. This message is urgent because you have been too generous with access. You have been too loyal to patterns that keep you stuck. You have been too patient with behavior that keeps repeating. You keep calling it a rough season, but it's a repeated cycle. You keep calling it miscommunication, but it's manipulation. You keep calling it they're just stressed, but your peace has been paying the price. I see the nights you've gone over conversations again and again, trying to figure out what you did wrong. I see how you second-guess yourself after you talk to them. I see how your confidence gets cloudy around them. I see how your joy gets quieter around them. I see how you stop dreaming out loud when they're nearby. You're not imagining it. You're not crazy. You are not too sensitive. You are spiritually awake, and I'm confirming what I've been whispering to you. This is a season of separation, not because you're better, but because you're becoming. I'm calling you higher. I'm calling you into alignment. I'm calling you into the kind of peace that doesn't require you to bleed to keep it. And yes, there is a cost. Because sometimes the person closest to you is the one most threatened by your breakthrough. But listen to me carefully. This warning is not meant to trap you in fear. It's meant to activate wisdom. You don't need to confront them with anger. You don't need to accuse without proof. You don't need to start a war in your home, your friend group, your workplace. What you need is to stop giving them the keys to rooms they were never meant to enter. Stop oversharing your next move. Stop telling them your timeline. Stop handing them your plans before they've shown you they can handle your growth. There are certain blessings I have promised you that require privacy. There are certain doors I'm opening that require silence. There are certain miracles forming that require protection. Because what is premature becomes vulnerable, and what is vulnerable becomes targetable. You have been in a building season. Some of you have been praying for financial freedom, and you've been doing the work, trying to get your credit repair right, trying to understand budgeting, trying to break cycles of debt, trying to make wise decisions around your mortgage, your insurance, your investments, your future. You've been fighting to become stable, to become disciplined, to become free. And the enemy hates stability because stability creates options. Stability creates generosity. Stability creates momentum. So what does he do? He tries to attach you to people who drain your energy, confuse your mind, and sabotage your consistency. Because if he can't stop your destiny, he will try to delay it. If he can't destroy you, he will try to distract you. If he can't silence your purpose, he will try to surround you with voices that make you doubt it. My child, the closer you get to your breakthrough, the more subtle the warfare becomes. It doesn't always look like chaos. Sometimes it looks like comfort. Sometimes it looks like familiarity. Sometimes it looks like a relationship you've outgrown, but you keep watering because you're afraid of loneliness. But I am with you. You are not alone, and I am teaching you a new language, the language of discernment. Here is what discernment looks like. Discernment is noticing who celebrates you without making it about them. Discernment is noticing who supports you consistently, not conveniently. Discernment is noticing who respects your boundaries instead of challenging them. Discernment is noticing who speaks life into your future instead of fear into your faith. Discernment is noticing who gets colder when you get healthier. Discernment is noticing who only likes you when you're struggling because your struggle makes them feel safe. Pay attention to the fruit, not the words, not the promises, not the apology. The fruit. Do they bring peace or do they bring confusion? Do you feel closer to me after being with them, or do you feel heavy and far? Do they encourage you to heal, or do they keep you stuck in the same wounds? Do they honor your growth, or do they mock it? Do they tell you the truth in love, or do they twist your reality until you don't trust yourself? I'm warning you because some of you are about to receive something big. A door's opening that will change your environment. It could be a promotion. It could be a new business idea. It could be a scholarship. It could be a move. It could be a contract. It could be the right connection, the right partnership, the right client. It could even be a relationship restoration that I'm doing. But it will only survive if you stop letting the wrong person be the narrator of your life. Because the wrong person will call your discipline obsession. They will call your boundaries attitude. They will call your standards pride. They will call your healing selfishness. They will call your new life fake. And if you keep listening, you will start shrinking again, and you will think it's humility, but it's fear wearing religious clothing. I didn't create you to live in fear. I created you to live in freedom. Real freedom. Not the kind that comes from money alone, not the kind that comes from applause, but the kind that comes from knowing who you are, knowing whose you are, and refusing to negotiate with what I already confirmed. My beloved child, you have been praying for a breakthrough, but you didn't realize breakthrough requires cutting off certain attachments. Because some people are not evil, but they are misaligned. And misalignment is dangerous when you are moving at destiny speed. Some of you keep asking me to remove the enemy, but the enemy has been wearing a familiar face. That's why you've been confused. That's why you've been tired. That's why you've been repeating lessons, because you've been trying to heal in the same place you keep getting cut. I am not shaming you. I am protecting you, and I'm asking you to do something simple but powerful. Before you speak, pause. Before you explain, pause. Before you commit, pause. Invite me into the moment. Ask me, God, is this safe? Not just physically, spiritually, emotionally, mentally. Ask me, God, is this person assigned to my future, or are they attached to my past? Some of you are still holding on because you remember who they used to be. You remember the beginning. You remember the good moments. You remember the history. But history is not a promise. Familiarity is not fruit, and nostalgia is not a covenant. Pay attention to patterns. If you keep getting hurt the same way, that's a pattern. If you keep apologizing for asking for basic respect, that's a pattern. If you keep feeling guilty for having needs, that's a pattern. If you keep feeling anxious before you see them, that's a pattern. If you keep getting punished for telling the truth, that's a pattern. And I'm breaking patterns in your life right now. If this is resonating deep in your spirit, comment 777. Not because a number is magic, but because your obedience is a signal. Your faith is a signal. Your yes is a signal. Comment 777 if you're ready to stop ignoring the warning signs and start walking in wisdom. Now listen, this message is also for the one who feels torn, because the person closest to you is not always a friend. Sometimes it's a partner. Sometimes it's family. Sometimes it's someone you live with. Sometimes it's someone you're tied to through obligation. And you're thinking, God, what do I do? I can't just disappear. My child, I'm not asking you to disappear. I'm asking you to stand up. Standing up doesn't mean screaming. Standing up doesn't mean insulting. Standing up doesn't mean becoming hard. Standing up means becoming clear. Clear boundaries, clear expectations, clear consequences, clear standards, and yes, clear distance when distance is required. Some of you have been carrying a relationship that I never asked you to carry. You've been the only one doing the emotional labor, the only one compromising, the only one apologizing, the only one trying. And you've been calling it love, but it's not love if it keeps costing you your identity. Love doesn't demand you lose yourself to prove you're loyal. Love doesn't punish you for growing. Love doesn't compete with you. Love doesn't drain you and then blame you for being tired. And I am teaching you the difference between patience and permission. Patience is waiting while I work. Permission is tolerating what I've already warned you about. You have mistaken tolerance for virtue. But I am raising you in wisdom. You are not called to be a doormat. You are called to be a light, and light exposes what darkness tries to hide. So here is what I want you to do. Quietly, consistently, watch what happens when you stop giving them your energy. Watch what happens when you stop chasing them. Watch what happens when you stop explaining yourself. Watch what happens when you stop offering them unlimited access. A healthy person will adjust. A manipulative person will accuse. A safe person will respect your boundary. An unsafe person will test it. A secure person will celebrate your growth. An insecure person will try to sabotage it. This is how I will reveal what is hidden, not through drama, but through distance. Not through loud confrontation, but through your calm consistency. Because some of you are entering the most important season of your life. A season where I will heal what you thought was permanent. A season where I will restore what you thought was lost. A season where I will elevate you in ways you cannot fake and cannot force. This is a season of favor, and favor requires discernment. Favor attracts eyes. Favor attracts opinions. Favor attracts jealousy. Favor attracts counterfeit friendships. Favor attracts people who want proximity without purity. And that is why I am warning you. because you've been too open, too available, too eager to include everyone in the miracle. But not everyone is meant to witness it up close. Some people should hear about it later, after it's established, after it's protected, after it's sealed. There is a blessing coming that will challenge your circle, not because it will make you arrogant, but because it will make your environment reveal itself. When you rise, you will see who claps and who clenches their jaw. When you heal, you will see who supports and who withdraws. When you start winning, you will see who stays and who suddenly becomes too busy. And I need you to be emotionally ready, because betrayal hurts the most when it comes from someone you trusted. But hear me, even betrayal cannot cancel what I have spoken. I can use betrayal as a bridge. I can use rejection as protection. I can use loss as alignment. I can use heartbreak as a doorway. So do not panic, do not spiral, do not accuse everyone, just listen, just watch, just obey. Because the enemy's greatest tactic is not always destruction. Sometimes it's distraction through relationships that keep you emotionally entangled and mentally exhausted. You've been praying for peace, but you've been entertaining chaos in familiar packaging. Not anymore. From today forward, you're going to become selective. Not arrogant. Selective. You are going to become disciplined with your time, your mind, your heart. You're going to stop letting people rent space in your head for free. You're going to stop paying for relationships with your peace. You're going to stop negotiating your worth. And I want to speak to your finances for a moment, because some of you have been under pressure. Bills, responsibilities, unexpected expenses. You've been trying to hold it together. You've been trying to build something stable, trying to move toward financial freedom, trying to get out of survival mode. And the wrong relationship will keep you in survival mode. The wrong person will keep you spending emotionally. The wrong person will keep you making impulsive choices. The wrong person will make you feel guilty for investing in yourself. Whether that's education, a certification, starting a business, improving your credit, learning about investment options, getting wise counsel, building a plan. A wise plan is not lack of faith. A wise plan is faith with structure. I am not intimidated by your bank account. I am not intimidated by your debt. I am not intimidated by your past mistakes, but I am calling you to wisdom because I am about to trust you with more, and more requires maturity. More requires stability. More requires boundaries, even financially. Some of you have been supporting people who refuse to grow. Some of you have been rescuing people who keep choosing irresponsibility. Some of you have been funding dysfunction, and you've been calling it kindness, but you've been ignoring the drain on your destiny. I am not saying don't help. I am saying help with wisdom, help with guidance, help with boundaries, help without enabling. Because your calling is bigger than being everyone's emergency plan. And for the one who feels that sting right now, the one who feels tears rising because you know I'm talking about someone you love, I want you to breathe. I want you to unclench your jaw. I want you to let my peace settle you. Because this is not punishment. This is protection. This is me loving you enough to interrupt your denial. You've been trying to keep the relationship alive, but I've been trying to keep you alive. You've been trying to keep them comfortable, but I've been trying to keep you free. You've been trying to avoid conflict, but I've been trying to deliver clarity. And clarity is a gift. If this message is helping you, hit like and subscribe so you stay connected to these words, because you're not walking through this season alone, and I want you to keep receiving what will strengthen you. Now listen, my child. I'm going to give you a few signs, not to make you paranoid, but to make you aware. When someone close to you is not safe for your spirit, they will often do one or more of these things. They will keep you in confusion. You'll leave conversations feeling foggy, guilty, unsure of yourself. They will make you feel like you must earn basic respect. They will punish you when you set boundaries. They will minimize your wins and magnify your mistakes. They will bring drama when you're trying to build. They will push you to react because they want you out of character. They will test your patience over and over, then call you mean when you finally speak. They will ignore your pain, but demand attention for theirs. They will ask for access, but refuse accountability. And one of the biggest signs is this. When you start getting healthier, they start acting weirder. Because healing changes the rules. Healing means you stop accepting crumbs. Healing means you stop settling. Healing means you stop being controlled by guilt. Healing means you stop begging for love. Healing means you stop thinking you need them to be whole. And that threatens anyone who benefits from your brokenness. So what do? You don't lash out. You don't post cryptic messages. You don't create a spectacle. You do something far more powerful. You get quiet. You get consistent. You get close to me. You ask for wisdom. You move with strategy. You document patterns, not to weaponize, but to stay clear when your emotions try to romanticize the past. You build your support system with safe people. People who pray, people who tell the truth, people who don't compete, people who want to see you thrive. And you remember this. You are allowed to protect your heart. I gave you a heart to love, yes. But I also gave you a mind to discern. I also gave you a spirit to sense. I also gave you wisdom to choose. Some of you have been praying, God, send me love. And I am sending you love. I am also sending you a warning, because love without wisdom becomes a trap. My child, the person closest to you may not be trying to ruin your life in some dramatic way. Sometimes the sabotage is quieter. Sometimes it looks like discouragement. Sometimes it looks like subtle criticism. Sometimes it looks like constant negativity. Sometimes it looks like always needing you, always leaning on you, always pulling you into their crisis, so you never have time to build your own life. And the enemy loves quiet sabotage, because quiet sabotage is harder to prove. Quiet sabotage makes you question yourself. Quiet sabotage makes you think, maybe it's my fault. Quiet sabotage makes you stay longer than you should. But today, you're waking up. Today, you're choosing clarity. Today, you are stepping into alignment. Comment 777 if you're ready to trust the discernment I placed in you, even if it means making uncomfortable decisions. Because I have something prepared for you that requires you to be unshaken. It requires you to be focused. It requires you to be steady. You're about to enter rooms you prayed for. You're about to meet people who will change your trajectory. You're about to receive ideas that will unlock breakthrough. Some of you will step into new income streams. Some of you will finally see your business stabilize. Some of you will receive the promotion you thought would never come. Some of you will find yourself learning, growing, upgrading, building skills that create real options, real stability, real momentum. And you cannot carry dead weight into a destiny season. You cannot keep explaining yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you. You cannot keep proving your heart to people committed to doubting it. You cannot keep watering relationships that keep producing thorns. I am calling you to choose yourself, not in selfishness, but in stewardship. Your life is my gift. Your time is a resource. Your peace is sacred. Your purpose is not a toy. So let me speak directly to the wound underneath this. You've been afraid that if you pull back, you'll be alone. You've been afraid that if you say no, you'll be rejected. You've been afraid that if you choose distance, you'll lose love. But listen to me, my child. If it falls apart because you asked for respect, it was never stable. If it breaks because you set a boundary, it was never safe. If they leave because you stop overgiving, they were never there for you. They were there for what you provided. And I know that hurts. I know that is hard to swallow. I know that can make you grieve. Because you wanted it to be different. You wanted them to grow with you. You wanted them to celebrate you. You wanted them to be proud. You wanted them to be safe. But I am your safety. I am your anchor. I am your father, and I will not let you be destroyed by misplaced loyalty. Some of you have been loyal to someone who has been quietly disloyal to you, not always through obvious betrayal, but through a lack of honor, through a lack of care, through a lack of truth, through a lack of support, and you have been trying to love them into maturity, but love cannot force someone to become what they refuse to be. So here is your next step. This is what you do in the next 7 days. You pray before you speak. You listen more than you explain. You stop volunteering information about your next move. You create space for their behavior to reveal itself without your constant fixing. You ask me for wisdom, and you follow the peace, not the pressure. And you start rebuilding your life around what strengthens you, not what drains you. Because you are entering a season where your mind must be clear, your nervous system must rest, your spirit must be steady, your energy must be focused, your purpose needs your full attention. Some of you have been so emotionally exhausted that you can't even hear me clearly. That is not your fault. That is what happens when you live in constant emotional tension. But I am restoring your clarity. I am restoring your confidence. I am restoring your voice. And I need you to hear this part, especially. The enemy wants you to react. The enemy wants you to explode. The enemy wants you to say something you can't take back. The enemy wants you to look unstable because then people won't trust you and you'll start doubting yourself. Do not give him that satisfaction. Move in silence. Move in prayer. Move with wisdom. Let your elevation be your response. Let your peace be your proof. Let your stability be your testimony. You don't need revenge. You need alignment. And when you align with me, I handle what you can't. I expose what's hidden in the right time, in the right way. I protect you from traps you never saw. I close doors you are too emotional to close. I reroute you away from harm. I surround you with the right people. I send destiny helpers. I send covenant friends. I send relationships that feel like oxygen, not like war. This is not the end of your story. This is the turning point. Somebody tried to keep you small, but I am stretching you. Somebody tried to keep you dependent, but I am making you strong. Somebody tried to keep you confused, but I am giving you clarity. Somebody tried to keep you stuck, but I am releasing you. Now, I want you to do something for me. Take your hand, place it over your heart, and whisper, God, I receive wisdom. Whisper, God, I choose peace. Whisper, God, I trust you more than I trust my fear. Because fear will tell you, if you pull back, you'll lose everything. But I tell you, if you obey, you'll gain yourself. And gaining yourself is where your destiny begins. There are people coming into your life who will not compete with you. They will celebrate you. They will speak life over you. They will honor your boundaries. They will bring opportunities, not obstacles. They will align with your healing, not your trauma. They will be consistent. They will be honest. They will be safe. And you will look back and realize I removed what was draining you so I could make room for what will build you. My child, you have survived too much to go backward now. You have healed too much to tolerate the same disrespect now. You have prayed too long to settle for spiritual confusion now. So when that familiar voice tries to pull you into old arguments, old guilt, old cycles, you will respond differently. You will not chase. You will not beg. You will not over-explain. You will not abandon yourself. You will stand in peace. You will stand in truth. You will stand in love with boundaries. And you will watch how quickly the atmosphere changes when you stop feeding what has been feeding off you. Some of you are going to recognize it immediately. You're going to notice how they act when you stop responding instantly. You're going to notice how they act when you say, I can't today. You're going to notice how they act when you stop being their emotional punching bag. You're going to notice how they act when you prioritize your health, your rest, your goals. You're going to notice how they act when you invest in yourself, when you take steps toward your future, when you focus on building stability, when you start making wise financial decisions, when you start thinking long-term, when you start planning, learning, improving. And the way they respond will tell you everything. A safe person will adjust. An unsafe person will escalate. So do not be surprised if, as you grow, they test you harder at first. Do not be surprised if, as you set boundaries, they suddenly try to pull you back with guilt. Do not be surprised if they say, "You've changed," as if that is an insult. Yes, you have changed. You have awakened. You have matured. You have healed. And you will not apologize for becoming who I created you to be. Comment 777. If you're choosing growth, even if it costs you comfort, now let me speak tenderness over you, because I know you might be grieving while you're listening. Grieving what you hoped it would be. Grieving the version of them you kept believing in. Grieving the future you pictured. And I want you to know, I hold your grief. I do not rush it. I do not shame you for it. Love is real, and loss is painful, even when it's necessary. But I also want you to know this. I am not removing love from your life. I am removing confusion. I am removing manipulation. I am removing emotional exhaustion. I am removing the constant tension. I am removing the subtle poison, so you can breathe again, so you can sleep again, so you can trust yourself again, so you can dream again, so you can build again. Some of you have been so exhausted that even thinking about the future feels heavy. But I am renewing you. I'm giving you strength. I'm giving you courage. I'm giving you the ability to say no without shaking. I'm giving you the ability to walk away without running back. I'm giving you the ability to choose peace without explaining it to everyone who benefited from your chaos. And I'm doing it now. Right now. Even as you listen. Because my words are not empty. My words carry power. I am not just informing you. I am transforming you. I am not just warning you. I am strengthening you. I am not just exposing them. I am healing you. So stay close. Stay alert. Stay grounded. Don't let emotions lead you. Let peace lead you. Let wisdom lead you. Let my voice lead you. Your destiny is too expensive to be handled carelessly. Your calling is too sacred to be shared with everyone. Your heart is too valuable to be placed in unsafe hands. And I need you to hear me say this with love and authority. You're allowed to outgrow people, even if you prayed with them, even if you built history with them, even if you shared memories with them. Outgrowing is not betrayal. Outgrowing is evidence that you listened when I called you higher. And because you listened, because you stayed through the hard seasons, because you kept believing when you couldn't see, because you held on when it would have been easier to quit, I'm about to reward your faithfulness. I'm about to bring you into a season where doors open without you begging, where opportunities find you, where peace becomes your normal, where stability becomes your foundation, where healing becomes your testimony, where your finances begin to align with wisdom and favor, where your relationships begin to align with truth and honor, where your spirit feels light again. But first, you must do this one thing. Stop giving access to what I've been warning you about. Stop calling it love when it's control. Stop calling it loyalty when it's fear. Stop calling it patience when it's permission. Choose wisdom. Choose peace. Choose alignment. Because the next chapter of your life requires a different level of discernment, and you are ready for it. But let me take you deeper, because what I'm exposing is not only a person, it's a pattern. It's a spirit of interference that tries to sit close to you so it can steer you without you realizing. You're being steered. And the hardest part is this. It often comes through someone who swears they love you. So I'm going to give you a new way to see what you've been feeling. Not through fear, through clarity. There's a difference between someone having a bad day and someone carrying a hidden agenda. There's a difference between someone being imperfect and someone being unsafe. There's a difference between conflict that builds maturity and conflict that erodes your identity. And you've been treating erosion like it's normal because you've been in it for so long. I'm restoring your ability to recognize what's normal and what's not. Because what you call normal is often what you tolerated, and what you tolerated is often what you were taught to accept. My child, I'm breaking that. Now listen carefully. In this season, I'm going to train you to read the atmosphere, not just the conversation, because some people speak the right words, but their presence tells the truth. Their tone tells the truth. Their timing tells the truth. Their reaction to your joy tells the truth. Their reaction to your boundaries tells the truth, and you don't need to debate it. You don't need to convince yourself out of it. You need to honor what I'm showing you. Because when I warn you, it's not to make you anxious, it's to make you prepared. And preparation looks like this. You stop asking, do they like me? And you start asking, are they safe for me? You stop asking, how do I keep this? And you start asking, does this help me become who I'm called to be? You stop asking, how do I avoid upsetting them? And you start asking, why does my growth upset them? That shift is where your freedom begins. Now hear me. One of the biggest traps in your life has been your good heart, your empathy, your ability to understand, your ability to give someone the benefit of the doubt, and that is a beautiful gift. But when it's not balanced with wisdom, it becomes a door. It becomes an access point. Because some people don't need your love. They need your boundaries. Some people don't need another explanation. They need accountability. Some people don't need another chance. They need consequences. And you have been confusing mercy with access. Mercy is my business. Access is your responsibility. And I'm teaching you how to protect what I placed in you. So let's talk about the success test, because it reveals more than most people realize. There are people who can handle your pain. They'll sit with you when you're grieving. They'll check on you when you're down, but the moment you start rising, something in them shifts. They can handle your tears, but they can't handle your shine. They can handle your struggle, but they can't handle your stability. They can handle you when you need them, but they can't handle you when you don't. And you've been confused because you thought support during pain meant support during growth. But growth is a different kind of mirror. Growth forces people to confront their own choices, their own discipline, their own faith, their own consistency. And if they don't want to confront themselves, they will try to pull you back into a version of you that makes them comfortable. So I'm giving you a simple indicator. Watch what happens when you stop needing their approval. Watch what happens when you stop chasing their validation. Watch what happens when you stop asking them to understand you. People who are safe will still love you. People who are threatened will start trying to control the narrative. They will start using phrases that sound harmless but carry poison. You're acting different. You think you're better now. You don't have time for people anymore. Must be nice. You're doing too much. And if you don't have discernment, you'll shrink again just to prove you're still humble. But humility is not pretending you're small. Humility is knowing where your strength comes from and not abusing it. So don't shrink, don't dim, don't apologize for light. Now, I want to speak to another layer, because some of you are dealing with someone who doesn't attack you openly. They don't yell, they don't insult, they don't curse you out. Their weapon is something quieter. It's subtle pressure, it's emotional withdrawal, it's selective affection, it's love that feels like a performance you must earn. It's kindness that disappears when you disagree. It's support that becomes punishment when you stop complying. That is control dressed as care, and you've been calling it their personality. But you've been walking on eggshells. You've been editing yourself. You've been rehearsing conversations. You've been trying to choose the perfect words so they don't react. My child, that is not peace. That is captivity wearing a smile. And I'm not letting you stay there, because I am not only healing you spiritually, I am strengthening you emotionally. I am stabilizing your nervous system. I am teaching your body what safety feels like again. Some of you have been in so much tension that your body has memorized anxiety as a default setting. You wake up tired, your shoulders stay tight, Your mind runs at night. You replay what you said, you plan what you'll say next, and then you call it just stress. But I call it a signal that your spirit has been in a constant state of defense. So here's what I'm doing in your life. I'm teaching you to stop negotiating with red flags. You don't pray red flags away by staying longer. You don't love red flags away by overgiving. You don't fix red flags by explaining your heart to someone committed to misusing it. You address red flags by honoring what you see, by responding with wisdom, by shifting your access, by protecting your peace. Now listen, in this season, I am going to bless you with acceleration, and acceleration requires focus. Some of you are about to experience a sudden shift in your career. A major offer, a new client, a business breakthrough, a door in real estate investing, an opportunity to build business credit, a chance to go back to school through an online degree program, maybe even an MBA, something that upgrades your capacity and increases your options. But the reason I'm warning you is because people close to you will try to interrupt your focus in one of two ways. They will create drama, or they will create dependence. Drama pulls your attention, dependence pulls your time, and both steal your momentum. So if you've been feeling like every time you try to build, something happens, that's not random. Some of you have noticed it like a pattern. You get disciplined, then suddenly there's a crisis. You start planning, then suddenly there's an emergency. You start saving money, then suddenly someone needs just a little help. You start learning about investments, then someone pulls you into emotional chaos so you can't think clearly. This is why I'm teaching you a new skill. Strategic compassion. You can love without losing yourself. You can help without being used. You can be kind without being controlled. And I'm giving you language for it. I can't do that. I'm not available for that. I'm focusing on something important right now. I'm not discussing this. That doesn't work for me. Short, clear, calm, no arguing, no over-explaining, no guilt, because the right people don't demand a debate when you set a boundary. Now I want to speak to the ones who are dealing with guilt, because guilt has been a leash in your life. You were trained to feel guilty for having needs, guilty for saying no, guilty for choosing rest, guilty for prioritizing your goals, guilty for spending time on your future instead of constantly managing someone else's emotions. But hear me. You're not responsible for managing the discomfort of someone who refuses to respect you. You are responsible for stewarding what I gave you. And that includes your time, your mind, your energy, your finances, your health. Some of you are stepping into a season of financial alignment. You've been thinking about life insurance, health insurance, car insurance, the kind of coverage that protects your future. You've been learning about mortgage rates, trying to make wise decisions about a home, trying not to rush, trying to avoid panic buying, trying to plan. Some of you are rebuilding after mistakes with a credit card, trying to improve credit scores, trying to be disciplined with spending, trying to pay down a personal loan, trying to stop leaking money. And I'm proud of you, but I'm also warning you, because there is a person near you who is not only an emotional drain, they are a financial drain. Not always directly. Sometimes it's the way they pressure you, the way they make you feel responsible for their instability, the way they guilt you when you invest in yourself, the way they treat your goals like a threat. And your finances are part of your freedom, so you must protect it, not with fear, with wisdom. If someone consistently pulls you into last-minute emergencies, ask yourself why their life always has flames and yours always has water. If someone is always almost getting it together but never actually changes, ask yourself how long you're supposed to keep paying for potential that refuses discipline. If someone celebrates when you struggle but gets quiet when you stabilize, ask yourself who benefits from you staying in survival mode. Because survival mode keeps you small, and you are not small. Now listen, I'm going to give you something practical, because you need more than feelings. You need a framework. So I'm giving you what I call the 3-door check. Before you allow someone deeper into your life, you check 3 doors. Door 1 is your spirit. After being around them, do you feel peace or pressure? Do you feel clear or confused? Do you feel strengthened or depleted? Door 2 is your mind. Do they respect your thoughts, or do they try to override them? Do they listen, or do they twist what you say? Do they allow disagreement, or do they punish it? Doctor 3 is your future. Do they support your growth, or do they subtly sabotage your consistency? Do they push you toward your purpose, or do they pull you into distraction? Do they speak life over your direction, or do they constantly plant fear? If those doors don't feel safe, you don't keep handing them the keys. You can be polite, you can be kind, but you can be distant. Distance is not cruelty. Distance is wisdom, and wisdom is obedience. Now I need you to understand something else, because some of you are saying, God, I tried to pull back, and they got worse. Yes, because control hates distance. Control hates independence. Control hates clarity. So when you step back, the first response is often escalation. They might suddenly become extra sweet. They might suddenly become extra needy. They might suddenly accuse you. They might suddenly tell other people a story about you. They might suddenly bring up your past. They might suddenly act like the victim. This is why I told you not to move through emotion. Move through wisdom, because manipulative people don't want resolution. They want access. They want leverage. They want control. And the moment you stop giving them leverage, they will try a different tactic. So I'm giving you another test, the inconvenience test. Watch what happens when you can't be useful. Watch what happens when you're tired. Watch what happens when you're unavailable. Watch what happens when you stop being their emotional rescue team. A healthy person will care. An unhealthy person will punish you. They'll withdraw affection. They'll make you feel guilty. They'll act cold. They'll throw a tantrum. And then they'll say, you're the problem. But my child, you are not the problem. You are just no longer controllable. And that's why this is urgent. Because you have been a blessing to people who never learned gratitude. You have been a safe place for people who refuse to become safe themselves. You have been carrying weight that was never assigned to you, and I'm calling you out of it. Now, I want to speak to your identity, because some of you have been living under a label that isn't yours. You've been labeled too emotional, too sensitive, too intense, too dramatic. But what if you're not too much? What if you're just surrounded by people who are too shallow? What if you're not difficult? What if you're just finally refusing to be disrespected? What if you're not changing for the worse? What if you're maturing? Because maturity feels like rejection to people who benefited from your immaturity. So don't be confused. This is not you becoming colder. This is you becoming clearer. And clarity is a form of love. It's love for yourself. It's love for your future. It's love for what I'm building. Now let me address the ones who keep delaying because you want proof. You want a moment where it's undeniable. You want them to say it out loud. You want them to admit it. You want a clean ending. You want closure tied with a bow. But my child, you don't always get closure. Sometimes you get clarity. Sometimes you get peace. Sometimes you get distance. And that is enough. Because the truth is, a person who is committed to manipulation will not sit down and explain their manipulation to you. They will not confess what benefits them to hide. They will keep you in circles. They will keep you in debates. They will keep you in confusion, because confusion buys time. So I'm telling you, stop trying to win conversations you were never meant to stay in. Stop trying to make them understand. Stop trying to get them to admit it. Stop trying to prove it. Honor what you see. Honor what you feel. Honor what I've been whispering. Now here's another motif I'm giving you, because I want you to recognize spiritual timing. There are seasons when I allow certain relationships to remain, not because they're healthy, but because you're still learning your voice. You're still learning your worth. You're still learning your boundaries. And then there comes a moment when the lesson has been delivered, and the relationship becomes a test of obedience, a test of growth, a test of self-respect. And you're in that moment now. Some of you have outgrown the lesson, but you keep staying because you think leaving makes you disloyal. My child, loyalty to people cannot come before loyalty to me. And loyalty to me often looks like choosing peace when your emotions want to chase chaos. So here is what I want you to do when your heart starts pulling you backward. You anchor yourself in truth. You remind yourself what it cost you. You remind yourself what you felt. You remind yourself how many nights you cried. You remind yourself how many times you forgave. You remind yourself how many times you begged for basics. And then you breathe and you say, I'm not going back. Not with anger, with calm, with dignity, because you don't need to prove your strength by fighting. You prove your strength by not returning to what broke you. Now let me speak to the spiritual side again, because some of you have been having dreams. You've been seeing signs. You've been feeling nudges. You've been getting interrupted in prayer with someone's name. You've been feeling uneasy for no reason, and then you feel guilty for feeling uneasy. My child, you're not wrong. You're not being mean. You are being warned, and warning is love. So here is a new practice I want you to adopt. I want you to stop praying only for answers and start praying for confirmation, because I will confirm through patterns. I will confirm through timing. I will confirm through what they say when they don't think you're listening. I will confirm through how they act when they don't get their way. I will confirm through their reaction to your boundaries. I will confirm through their reaction to your silence. Some of you are going to see it quickly, because when you stop feeding their access, they will reveal their intentions. And when they reveal their intentions, you must not negotiate with your discernment. You must not second-guess the warning. You must not romanticize the past. You must not minimize what I'm exposing. You must obey, even if it hurts, even if it feels lonely, even if it feels uncomfortable. Because what I'm protecting you from is bigger than what you think you're losing. Now I want to give you something else. Because some of you are not dealing with an enemy in your circle. You're dealing with an idol, an unhealthy attachment, a relationship that became a source. You started going to them for comfort more than you came to me. You started craving their approval more than you valued my voice. You started measuring your worth by their attention. And I am not condemning you. I am calling you back. Because when a person becomes your source, they gain a power they were never meant to hold. And when they hold that power, they can control your mood, your confidence, your decisions, your direction. That is why I'm teaching you to detach. Not from love, from dependence. Because love with dependence becomes bondage. Love with boundaries becomes peace. And peace is what I promised you. Some of you are going to feel this in a new way today. You're going to feel a holy strength come into your chest, a calm boldness, a quiet certainty. And you won't need to announce it. You won't need to argue. You'll just start moving differently. You'll take longer to respond. You'll share less. You'll explain less. You'll react less. And you'll notice something powerful. The more you stop reacting, the more you regain control of your own life. Because reaction is often the hook. It's how they keep you emotionally tethered. It's how they keep you in cycles. So you're not going to react the same anymore. You're going to respond with wisdom. And wisdom is slow. Wisdom is calm. Wisdom is clear. Wisdom doesn't rush. Now, if you're still with me, and you can feel this message building you from the inside out, hit like and subscribe so you don't miss what I'm going to speak next. Because the next part is going to give you the exact posture to take when they try to pull you back in. And yes, comment 707 if you're ready to choose peace over people-pleasing. Now listen carefully, because I'm about to show you how the trap works. Some people keep access to you through 3 hooks. The first hook is nostalgia. They remind you of the past. They remind you of the good times. They remind you of when you were close. They remind you of what you survived together. And suddenly you forget the present. You forget the pattern. You forget the pain. The second hook is guilt. They say things like, "After all I've done for you." They bring up sacrifices. They bring up favors. They bring up how they showed up once, and they use that one moment as a lifetime contract. The third hook is urgency. They create last-minute pressure. They make everything feel immediate. They make you feel like if you don't respond right now, you're a bad person. But my child, urgency is not always emergency. Sometimes urgency is manipulation. So, when they pull one of those hooks, you do one thing. You slow down. You don't answer immediately. You don't decide immediately. You don't commit immediately. You pray. You breathe. You ask me for peace. Because peace will guide you better than pressure ever will. Now I want to speak to the ones who feel afraid of backlash. Because you're thinking, if I pull away, they'll talk about me. Yes, they might. They might twist the story. They might try to turn others against you. They might call you selfish. They might call you ungrateful. They might call you fake. But hear me. Let them talk. Because when you're finally free, you won't be living for their version of you. You'll be living for my purpose in you. And the people who truly know your heart will not be confused by a rumor. The people who are assigned to you will not be stolen by a lie. And the ones who leave because of a lie were never rooted in truth with you anyway. So stop fearing the fallout. The fallout is often the evidence that you made the right move. Because when you remove a toxic attachment, it will shake at first. But after the shaking, there is peace. After the shaking, there is clarity. After the shaking, there is a new kind of strength. Now let me show you what's coming, because I want you to be excited, not afraid. When you create distance from what drains you, you will suddenly have energy again. You will have creativity again. You will have appetite for life again. You will have clarity to plan again. You'll start seeing solutions. You'll start making better decisions. You'll start being consistent. You'll start protecting your mornings. You'll start building routines that support your future. Some of you are going to start taking your health seriously in a new way. You'll get your checkups. You'll prioritize sleep. You'll stabilize your habits. You'll stop numbing. You'll stop coping with chaos. Some of you are going to start taking your money seriously in a new way. You'll finally create a budget that works. You'll stop impulse spending. You'll start learning about high-yield savings, about investment portfolios, about retirement planning, about protecting your assets, about building real stability. You'll stop being ashamed of where you are, and you'll start being proud of how you're moving. And I'm telling you now, the wrong people hate disciplined you. They loved distracted you. They loved anxious you. They loved always available you. But disciplined you is dangerous to manipulation. Disciplined you is how you build. Disciplined you is how you rise. So as you rise, don't be surprised if they try to interrupt your routine. Don't be surprised if they suddenly have problems every time you're doing well. Don't be surprised if they suddenly need you the moment you sit down to work on your goals. But you're going to handle it differently. Because I am raising you to be unmovable. Now I want to give you a new motif, because some of you have been asking, God, how do I know if it's them or if it's me? Listen carefully. There is a difference between conviction and confusion. Conviction is clear. It leads you to peace, even if it stings. Confusion is foggy. It leads you to anxiety, even if it sounds logical. When I speak, there is clarity. When manipulation speaks, there is fog. So when you leave a conversation and your mind is spinning, when you can't tell what just happened, when you feel guilty but you don't know why, when you feel like you owe them something but you can't name what, that is not my voice. That is a tactic, and I'm teaching you to recognize it so you stop being pulled into it. So the next time you feel that fog, you pause and you say, God, bring clarity. And I will. I will bring clarity through memory. I will remind you what was said. I will remind you what was twisted. I will remind you what you felt. I will bring clarity through repetition, because patterns reveal what words try to hide. Now, my child, you're stepping into a season where your life will require higher standards. Not because you're trying to be difficult, but because you've learned the cost of low standards. Low standards cost you time. Low standards cost you peace. Low standards cost you money. Low standards cost you mental health. Low standards cost you identity, so you're not lowering yourself anymore. You're not settling anymore. You're not accepting half-love anymore. You're not accepting inconsistent respect anymore. You're not accepting relationships that only work when you abandon yourself. And because you're changing, your environment will change. Some people will adjust. Some people will resist. Some people will leave. Some people will reveal. And I want you ready for all of it, because your future is not fragile. Your calling is not fragile. What I have for you is not fragile, but it does require protection. So keep your heart soft, but keep your boundaries strong. Keep your love real, but keep your access selective. Keep your compassion alive, but keep your standards non-negotiable. Because I am not just bringing you into blessing, I'm bringing you into stewardship, and stewardship means you protect what's entrusted to you. Now take a breath, because I'm about to talk about something that will hit very close for some of you. There is a person near you who only feels powerful when you are uncertain. They only feel important when you are asking. They only feel needed when you are doubting. So they keep you in a constant state of almost confident, almost free, almost healed, almost decided, almost ready. And the reason you keep feeling stuck is because you keep letting them position themselves as the gatekeeper to your next step. But I am your gatekeeper. I am the one who opens doors no man can shut. So you are not going to ask them for permission anymore. You are not going to wait for their approval anymore. You are not going to shrink until they feel comfortable anymore. You are going to move when I say move, even if they don't clap, even if they don't understand, even if they try to guilt you, because your obedience is not dependent on their agreement. Now here is where it gets real. Some of you already know exactly who this is, and you've been hoping I'd say something different. You've been hoping I'd tell you to just try harder. You've been hoping I'd tell you they'll change tomorrow. You've been hoping I'd tell you to hold on a little longer. But my child, I love you too much to let you keep bleeding for a relationship that keeps reopening the same wound. So I'm not giving you another excuse. I'm giving you a next step. And your next step is not dramatic. Your next step is quiet. You stop making yourself available for disrespect. You stop rewarding inconsistency with your attention. You stop explaining boundaries to someone who understands them but refuses to respect them. You stop putting your heart in the hands of someone who keeps dropping it, and then you watch. Because when you change your posture, everything hidden will start to surface, and as it surfaces, you must stay calm, because the moment you stay calm is the moment you gain your power back. You don't need to prove you're right. You need to be free. You don't need to win the argument. You need to protect your peace. You don't need to force an apology. You need to stop re-entering the cycle. And in the days ahead, you're going to feel an urge to fix it, to make it okay, to smooth it over. That urge is old conditioning. That urge is the part of you that survived by keeping other people comfortable. But you are not surviving anymore. You are building. You are rising. You are becoming. So when that urge comes, you pause and you remember that peace doesn't require you to chase it. Peace is something you choose, and you're about to choose it again and again and again until it becomes your new normal. Now let me speak to the one who is afraid that they won't find new people, because you've been surrounded by the same energy for so long that you think it's all there is. You think all relationships require anxiety. You think closeness requires pain. You think love requires you to overgive. But that is not the love I designed. I have people for you who will feel like rest. People who don't punish your honesty. People who don't test your boundaries. People who don't make you pay for love with your peace. People who will speak life over your plans. People who will remind you of who you are when you forget. People who will celebrate your wins without making it weird. And when those people show up, your nervous system will be confused at first because it's used to chaos. You might even feel tempted to run back to what's familiar, not because it's healthy, but because it's predictable. But you're going to stay. You're going to let yourself receive healthy love. You're going to let yourself be supported without fear. You're going to let yourself be seen without being controlled. And that is part of your healing. Now listen, because I'm going to expose another trap. Some of you are being watched more than you realize. Not in a paranoid way, in a strategic way. There's a person close to you who studies you so they can anticipate you. They watch your moods, they watch your routines, they watch what makes you happy, they watch what makes you insecure. And they use that information to keep themselves positioned in your life. Sometimes they show up right when you're vulnerable. Sometimes they give you comfort, but only so you'll keep giving them access. Sometimes they compliment you, but it's tied to control. Sometimes they help you, but it's so you'll feel indebted, and you've been confused because it doesn't look like hatred. It looks like closeness, but closeness without honor is a trap, and I am breaking it. So in the next season, your privacy is going to be part of your power. You're going to keep certain things between me and you. You're going to move quietly. You're going to let results speak. You're going to stop making announcements to people who don't have the heart to celebrate you. Because not everyone deserves early access to your miracle. Some people can only handle the finished testimony. Now, as you move like this, you're going to notice something else. Your mind will get clearer. Your emotions will settle. Your confidence will rise. You'll start seeing yourself with respect again. You'll stop second-guessing your instincts. You'll start trusting your gut. You'll start making decisions faster. Not because you're rushing, but because you're no longer tangled in fog. And once your mind clears, you're going to start hearing me more clearly. You're going to start receiving ideas. Ideas for income, ideas for business, ideas for creativity, ideas for purpose. Some of you are going to start exploring high-income skills. Digital marketing, software, sales, e-commerce, coaching, consulting, content creation that actually builds a brand. Some of you are going to start looking at professional certifications or an online program that upgrades your resume. Some of you are going to step into a new contract. Some of you are going to renegotiate your salary. Some of you are going to start building something that creates generational stability. But you cannot do that while you're emotionally hemorrhaging. You cannot build a future while you're constantly recovering from someone's energy. So I am cutting the leak. And as the leak gets cut, the flow increases. That's how this works. Now there's one more motif I need to give you, and it's going to shift the way you move permanently. It's called the silence mirror. When you stop talking, when you stop explaining, when you stop performing, people are forced to face themselves. Silence is a mirror, and some people hate mirrors because mirrors reveal. So if you've been the one who always fills the silence, always smooths things over, always keeps the conversation alive, always makes it okay, you've been unintentionally protecting them from being seen. But when you get quiet, you remove the cover, and that's when you'll see who they are without your effort. So in the coming days, practice silence. Not passive-aggressive silence, peaceful silence, strategic silence, the kind of silence that says, I don't have to prove my heart anymore. And watch what happens. Some will soften, some will adjust, some will reveal anger, some will reveal control. Some will reveal that your presence was never valued, only your usefulness. And when that revelation comes, don't panic, don't argue, don't chase, just accept what I showed you. Because revelation is mercy. Now let's go even deeper, because for some of you, the person closest to you is not trying to ruin you. They are wounded, they are insecure, they are scared, they are unhealed, and your compassion keeps trying to rescue them. But my child, you cannot heal someone who keeps choosing to stay unhealed. You cannot rescue someone who loves the attention of being rescued. You cannot carry someone into a future they refuse to prepare for. So you must release the savior role. You are not their savior. I am. You are not their therapist. You are not their emotional punching bag. You are not their unlimited resource. You are a person with a destiny, a calling, a future. And I'm calling you to step back into that. Now, your heart might feel tender as you hear this, because you're thinking, if I stop being there, who will help them? My child, that question reveals how deep the burden has become. You were never meant to carry that. I can reach them without you sacrificing yourself. I can teach them without you bleeding. I can correct them without you losing your peace. So release them into my hands and keep your hands on your future, because you are not behind, you are not late, you are not forgotten, you are being redirected, and redirection is not failure. Redirection is protection. Now stay with me, because the next part is going to show you the exact moment you'll be tempted to go back and how to stand strong when that moment comes. Because it will come when you least expect it, right when you're starting to feel free, right when you're starting to feel stable, right when you're starting to build, and that's when they will try to pull you back in with a message that sounds innocent, with a memory that sounds sweet, with a tone that sounds familiar, because they can feel you slipping out of their control and they're going to test you one last time. And when that moment comes, I need you to remember this. The tug you feel is not love calling you back. It's a habit. It's old wiring. It's the part of you that was trained to return to discomfort just because it's familiar. But you are not who you were. You are not that version anymore. You are not the one who gets pulled by guilt, pushed by pressure, or trapped by nostalgia. You are my child. You are led by peace. So when they reach for you, you don't reach back out of fear. You don't answer out of panic. You don't rush to fix what I already exposed. You breathe, you ground yourself, and you ask me one simple question. God, is this a trap or is this truth? And I will answer you, not with confusion, but with calm. Because I am teaching you to choose consistency over chemistry. Chemistry is easy, it's familiar, it's emotional, it's quick, but consistency is holy. Consistency is safe. Consistency builds a future, and your future needs safe. Your future needs steady. Your future needs you thinking clearly. So you're going to start protecting your mornings, protecting your routines, protecting your energy. You're going to stop letting your peace be negotiable. You're going to stop letting someone else's mood become your responsibility. You're going to stop paying for love with your anxiety. You're going to stop replaying conversations like your mind is a courtroom where you must prove your innocence. You are done with that. And I want you to hear me. This is not you becoming cold. This is you becoming free. This is you becoming wise. This is you becoming stable. This is you becoming the kind of person who can handle what I'm about to release into your hands. New doors, new options, new income, new ideas, new opportunities that require you to be focused, disciplined, and unshakable. Some of you are going to look back at this moment and realize this warning saved you years. Years of confusion, years of emotional exhaustion, years of delayed progress. Because when you finally stop giving access to what drains you, you'll feel your life come back online. Your mind will quiet down, your sleep will get deeper, your confidence will return, your joy will stop feeling like something you have to defend, your plans will start moving again, your money will stop leaking into chaos. You'll start making decisions with wisdom, not emotion. You'll start building real stability, the kind that supports your future and honors your calling. And I'm going to say it plainly. You will not lose what is meant for you by obeying me. You will only lose what was never safe to hold. So if your heart is racing right now, breathe. If you feel tears rising, let them come. That's not weakness, that's release. That's your spirit letting go of a burden you were never meant to carry. I'm not disappointed in you for staying too long. I'm proud of you for waking up now, because waking up is the beginning of healing. Now, I want you to speak this out loud, even if it's a whisper. God, I choose peace. Say it again. God, I choose wisdom. One more time. God, I choose alignment. Because your words matter, they shape what you tolerate. They shape what you accept. They shape what you walk away from. And here is what I'm declaring over you as you step into this new chapter. You will not be manipulated. You will not be confused. You will not be controlled by guilt. You will not be pulled back into cycles you have outgrown. You will not be distracted by drama. You will not be delayed by dependency. You will not be taken out of character by someone who wants you to react. You will move with calm. You will move with strategy. You will move with courage. And when you feel weak, you will lean on me. Because I do not just warn you, I strengthen you. I do not just expose, I heal. I do not just remove, I replace. I am replacing confusion with clarity. I am replacing anxiety with peace. I am replacing emotional chaos with stability. I am replacing toxic attachment with healthy connection. I am replacing survival mode with stewardship. So let this be your moment of decision. Not the loud kind, the real kind. The kind where you quietly change your posture and never return to the old version of you again. The kind where you stop explaining yourself and start honoring yourself. The kind where you stop begging for basic respect and start requiring it. The kind where you stop asking people to love you, right, and start loving yourself enough to walk away from what keeps hurting you. If you're ready to choose that, comment 777. Let it be your signal that you're done ignoring the warning signs and you're ready to walk in wisdom. Comment 777 if you're choosing peace, even if it costs you comfort. Comment 777 if you're ready to be free. And as you step forward, I want you to remember something that will keep you steady. The right people will not be confused by your boundaries. The right people will not punish your healing. The right people will not compete with your growth. The right people will not drain your energy and call it love. The right people will feel like rest. They will feel like safety. They will feel like support. They will help you build, not bleed. So keep moving, keep building, keep praying, keep listening, keep honoring what I show you. Because the same God who warned you is the same God who will protect you. The same God who exposed what was hidden is the same God who will lead you to what is safe. And the same God who called you higher will give you the strength to stay there. If this message reached you right on time, hit like and subscribe so you stay connected, because you're stepping into a season where your discernment will be your protection, your peace will be your power, and your obedience will open doors you never could have forced. Now receive this. I bless your mind with clarity. I bless your heart with peace. I bless your spirit with discernment. I bless your future with alignment. I bless your home with calm. I bless your work with favor. I bless your finances with wisdom and stability. I bless your relationships with truth, honor, and safety. And I bless your next step with courage, because you will not shrink again. You are protected, you are guided, you are loved, and you are ready.